To understand what I'm about to tell you, you need to do something first. You need to believe in the impossible. Can you do that?
What do you desire that you can't have?
Now you should at least give a brother a moment to say something heroically clever.
You have failed this city.
So I have this thing with roles?
Just the end of the world.
There's about a dozen ways that I could stop you right now. But I don't think I have to.
You're the boy from the circus.
I started up a security firm.
Finally, a superhero team I can actually get behind.
In the future, my friends may not be heroes, but if we succeed, they will be remembered as legends.
Welcome to the DC TV report for the week ending Saturday, November 30th, 2019. I'm Lilletty O'Hare.
And I'm Sara Netzley, academic by day, writer by night.
We're here to bring you recaps, news, and commentary for all live-action television shows based on DC Comics.
And this week, on this glorious Thanksgiving week, we have 5 new episodes.
Yes.
And one of them is... finale? Finale.
Yes, a finale. Yes, I forgot to put that in the episode description. That's okay. Yeah. We got.
And one of them was a masterpiece. One of them. Those are not the same ones. The finale and the masterpiece. Just for the record.
Yes. Yeah. We had a big giant episode. Really. Yeah. I think I enjoyed everything this week. We got 5 shows. Batwoman and Supergirl took off. And we're in the middle of Thanksgiving weekend. This is between the Black Friday rush and the Cyber Monday madness. How are you recovering?
Did you have to roll off your couch and waddle over to your recording area? Because that's kind of how it's going over here. You're my one piece of responsibility that I have this weekend was recording this, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty busy. Now we've kicked into high gear. I'm trying to watch as many movies as I can to put together my top 10 list for the end of the year. I think I'm still going to do that. And we're recording an episode of Ed Bonds with Bill later today. By the way, if you want to check that out, that's a secret podcast that's available on our Patreon. We're part of Wicked Theory Studios. They have a patreon.com/Wicked Theory for as little as $1 a month. You can help us keep the lights on, and you can hear a podcast where I show James Bond movies to our buddy Bill Sweeney. And last time we watched Thunderball.
How'd that go over? I guess people have to listen to the podcast to find out.
Yeah. It was, Thunderball. That's it's like the cultural apex of James Bond. That's the one where he fights a lot of people underwater and practically rapes a masseuse at a health spa. Awesome. So there's something for everybody.
Well, speaking of something for everybody, can I just real quick? I know we're not going to cover this show because it is not live action, but DC Universe on Friday premiered the new animated series Harley Quinn, and I loved it so much. So much. So if you're a DC Universe, the 5 of you out there who are DC Universe subscribers, don't hesitate to watch this show. It was incredible. I adored it. Speaking of something for everybody, except for kids, not for kids. Definitely not for kids.
No, I second that motion. I did really enjoy that show. I thought it was a lot of fun. Kaley Cuoco, I wasn't so sure. She's the voice of Harley Quinn, but I thought she did a bang up job. And Alan Tudyk as Joker. Lots of fun.
I was exactly there with you. I knew Alan Tudyk would be great, but Kaley Cuoco, I was not sure, but she was fabulous. What was interesting, I listened to TV's Top 5 podcast. They always do a showrunner spotlight every week, and they talk to the creators of Harley Quinn, and they said that she actually went back and re-recorded a lot of her lines for the pilot episode, because by about episode 3, they figured out who Harley was. And she was like, "Oh, I want another bite at that apple." In that first episode, I know who she is now. So I thought that was kind of cool that you don't do that in live action TV, but she was happy to come in and just sort of redo a lot of the line takes and things now once she had a better handle on the character. So they care enough to bring us the best show they can. And so far it is the best.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
just had to get that out there.
Yeah. And I love the Batman world is fully formed. You have Poison Ivy, Riddler, all the Arkham Asylum characters. And yeah, that is pretty much a direct adaptation. It definitely has the feel of Harley Quinn solo comics.
Well, and I liked that Harley's smart. I mean, they referenced her background, and you saw her use something more than her, chaotic good, chaotic evil, chaotic neutral. I don't know what her classification system is there. And I don't remember how they showed her in Suicide Squad, because I don't remember much of that movie, because Suicide Squad. But I liked what I saw very much. Very much. Also, Poison Ivy is great. It was a wonder. We're not. We can keep going, Ed, because I'm just going to tell you all the things I liked, which was all of it.
All right, you want to talk about the live action shows that we're actually?
No, I don't. I want to keep talking about Harley. But yes, let's do that.
All right. Well, I think we're starting off on a real high note. Yes. Yeah. So first up is Watchmen, Season 1, Episode 6. This Extraordinary Being. On American Hero Story, FBI agents tried to force Hooded Justice to unmask and help them blackmail Captain Metropolis. Lori failed to get Angela to sign a release for treatment before her nostalgia hallucinations started. Angela relived her grandfather's memories of being an NYPD officer in the late 1930s. Last minute reveal, Angela woke up with a yellow tube in her arm, and Lady True happy to see her.
Yeah, this was an amazing episode of television that is so effective on so many levels that I don't actually know how to talk about it. What did you think?
I mean, yeah. Let's start with the one big reveal, the big puzzle piece that's been missing in this show, that really ties everything together, which is that Will Reeves, who's played by Lou Gossett Jr., who we've been following around and said that he strung up the chief of police. Back in the 1930s, he became Hooded Justice and was served as the inspiration for the entire masked hero movement.
It was such a cool way to take one of the few mysteries from the original comic. I mean, Hooded Justice his backstory was never filled in. So what an amazing way to take an original character and flesh him out to directly fall in line with the themes of this show and the conversations we're having and larger issues in representation and Black erasure in history. And it was just, I thought it was so clever, so interesting. And I'm genuinely mad at myself that I was so surprised. Like, oh my God, I felt like I should have gotten there sooner. I think people on Reddit did. I'm glad I didn't know. I'm glad I was able to just be an unspoiled babe in the woods for that.
Yeah. And going through his whole story, seeing that he's a beat cop and he uncovers this conspiracy, and realizes that the Ku Klux Klan is working in New York, and that he's punished for it. That they own the cops. They are the cops. And that was the whole inspiration. That was the noose that they threatened to lynch him with. And he used that to make up his costume. Like, oh.
In a harrowing scene that was difficult to watch. I just love this idea that he had to put on a mask so he could do what was right. Mm-hmm. He wasn't able to do it on his own as himself. So Yeah.
Yes. And his wife, June, who it turns out is the baby that he was carrying in the first episode. That was the baby that he carried from the car after it crashed. All grown up is his wife now, and she was the one who came up with the idea to paint the skin around his eyes white so people would think that Hooded Justice was a white man. And yeah, and basically, like, you know, the whole tragedy of the Minutemen, that it was this hoax. And you know what was funny, when they show the clips of American Hero Story in previous episodes, and you do have the whole thing running through the Hooded Justice and Captain Metropolis had an affair together. I thought that was something that, like, the show made up. That turned out it wasn't going to be true, and then we get to that scene in the show, and no, that was true. That was a thing. I was actually
the comics, though.
I mean,
am I misremembering?
I have not gotten to that point in my reread.
Oh.
I was a bad boy. I got through like the first 5 issues and stopped. I've got to.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. We're juggling 7 episodes a week, Ed. How dare you?
Yeah.
Yeah. What I thought was so interesting was that in American Hero Story, they didn't erase that sexuality. You know, they kept Hooded Justice's relationship with Captain Metropolis there, but they did erase the race. Now, I know they didn't know. I mean, like, that's the big secret, but it's just an interesting conversation. So Bass Reeves, who is the lawman who's in the film that Will is watching, in the pilot episode when the Tulsa riots erupt, that's a real character. He was the real inspiration for the Lone Ranger. Yes. But the Lone Ranger, of course, is white. So I love the parallel there. It's all right there. They told us what they were going to do. It was in the first moment of the first episode. Just amazing. Also, can I be a nerd for a second? Mm-hmm. So Hooded Justice in American Hero Story, the show within a show, is played by Cheyenne Jackson, who is in a lot of Ryan Murphy's shows. So if Ryan Murphy were to do American Hero Story, he legit might cast Cheyenne Jackson, who's been in American Horror Story several seasons. So I just thought that was a really funny bit of in-world self-referential. I love this episode so much. So much. Yeah. Also, can I say that on The Boys, Homelander made me super wary about Superman knockoffs, and I was right. Captain Metropolis, kind of trash.
Yeah. Just a rich guy running around in a Halloween costume.
And
by the way,
monetizing it.
By the way, if anyone's interested in reading more about Bass Reeves and his connection to the Lone Ranger, Micah Peters did a great article for The Ringer, talking about him and how it relates to Watchmen. I like to direct people to that. So
there's a lot of good writing coming out about Watchmen as people are responding to it, which I'm enjoying.
Yeah, and I mean. So Angela has relived this, and now she's come out of it. I saw some people like surprised, like, how did she get to Lady True's? Why is Lady True in that room? Why is she the only one there? And I don't know. To me, that seemed like a pretty logical chain of events. You don't have to do a lot of guesswork to figure that out, that they tried giving her the standard treatment and it wasn't working. So then you call the manufacturer of the company, who is building a giant monument down the street. Doesn't seem that hard to figure out how Lady True ended up in caring for Angela. I don't know.
Who's got the best healthcare in the area? The trillionaire. Like, she's got the stuff. Also, I mean, Lady True has things going on, so she's got. I mean, her daughter is it a clone? Has she taken nostalgia? Like, the IVs are the same that the daughter had by her bed, and that Angela woke up with. So Lady True, she's her heart is an ocean of secrets. So, can we talk about the cinematography and the dreamlike storytelling?
Oh yes,
for a second?
yes, yeah.
It was so well done to tell a grounded, like we know that this is, we're seeing what happened, but there were just enough little touches to remind us that, but this is her memory dream that she's having in her basically comatose, feverish brain. But the recurrence of the mom playing the piano as he walks down the street, and the when he projects the movie on the wall as he's talking to his wife, it was visually gorgeous. The storytelling was bold and interesting, and it's again so good. I have a hard time being eloquent about it, but it was so good.
Yeah, and yeah, just the storytelling, even that scene in the market, because we saw a version of that recreated on American Hero Story, and then to see how it actually went down. Yeah, yeah, you're right. Great storytelling all around. So where do we go from here? What is this? We still, there's still like a 60-year gap between when June took the kid and ran off, and Will showed up in Tulsa.
Yeah, that was quite a time jump. And Angela Bassett, who wasn't in this a lot, because she just would show up in fragments of that memory, but when she got to the memory of Will in his chair as he was having Judd hang himself, even her posture changed to be, the old man in the chair. She just she didn't have to do as much this week, but what she did was phenomenal.
Yeah, you mean Regina King?
Did I say Angela Bassett?
Yes, it's okay.
What? Regina King? What? Thank you. Angela Bassett's never far from my mind, apparently.
Yeah,
she's just always there.
Yes. So yeah. So yeah, how does this connect to Adrian Veidt? Where's Dr. Manhattan in all of this?
Were you glad not to see him this week?
Yes.
Oh, same.
Yeah, I thought the fact that, I think this was a story that needed to be told on its own. There was no proper place to insert Adrian in there. So yeah. All right.
I know what did it. American Horror Story. Angela Bassett. I was thinking about her in American Horror Story. I just had to figure out how my brain got there. That's what did it. I blame Ryan Murphy. Okay. All right. Keep going.
All right. Is there anything you think we haven't covered in this episode? Anything more?
The writer Cord Jefferson is black. I was curious about. I've been curious about the makeup of the writing staff, but especially this episode. And it was. Just in case anybody was curious, you could see the authenticity and the storytelling that he wanted to accomplish. I feel like he did really beautifully. So I don't know. I'm gonna watch it again. I'm gonna watch it again very soon because it was good.
All right. And there was no news for Watchmen, right?
Correct.
All right. Moving on to Black Lightning. Season 3, Episode 7, The Book of Resistance, Chapter 2, Henderson's Opus. Jefferson found himself at odds with Inspector Henderson and Reverend Holt over the measures necessary to stop the ASA. Anissa became worried that she would not be able to protect Grace without her powers. Gamby asked Lynn to help him gain access to the ASA mainframe. Jennifer tried getting closer to Brandon by lying and saying she could help him find Dr. Jace. Last minute reveal, Painkiller was activated with a new target, Black Lightning.
So did they save up all their superhero stuff for this week?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I thought that was cool. I think the show's finally swinging back into true form. Jefferson, man, he's in quite a pickle. Because he definitely knows the ASA are the bad guys. But that bomb that Henderson tried to set off really ticked him off.
Yeah, he's not happy about that.
Yeah. And like now no one trusts Jefferson. I think so yeah, and he doesn't even know Lynn's hooked on green light yet. Man, and then Anissa's got her whole thing with Grace. So yeah, Jefferson had a really, really rough week.
He's had a rough season, let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I also super loved Major Gray's face. There was a moment where Lynn and that new doctor in the beginning of the episode were kind of being flirty. And Major Gray was just like, nope, I want no part of this, which is how the audience felt as well. No, shut that down, Lynn. Nope.
Yeah, no, you don't see it going there. You don't.
Well, no, I mean, I'm worried that I feel like the green light addiction is going to spiral into unwise doctor flirtations and anger with her superhuman husband, and I don't want it to go there. I don't,
Yeah.
Also, I love that this was the first of 2 shape-shifting tiger scenes this week on DC TV.
Oh, yes.
It's not my winner of the week, but it is a runner-up. Shape-shifting tigers.
Yeah. Grace. Yeah, I mean her relationship with Anissa, it's always been kind of weird. But I'm ready to see Grace start to turn into a hero now. I think she's slowly but surely gaining a little bit of confidence. She's definitely getting control of her powers now. And I'm hoping that within the next episode or two, she gains the strength and the will to start fighting back and fighting for herself, and wanting to help Anissa and Jefferson.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I assume in the comics she's more than just somebody who can't control her shifts and needs Anissa to help talk her down. So it would be nice to see her a little more.
Yeah, no, she's a proper hero. She's a member of the Outsiders. So yeah, but I mean, her and Anissa said goodbye at the end, but I don't think that's permanent. I don't think that's going to be for long.
Have they? You were concerned about that relationship for a while. Has it alleviated your concerns? Do you feel like they've moved to a healthier place?
Yes. I mean, yeah, I think last time I was joking that Anissa might have been an abusive girlfriend.
Yeah, I mean, you weren't wrong.
I mean, it's kind of weird because, like, Grace kind of got to that point where she needed a lot of help, and Anissa was there for her. So the dynamic in that relationship changed a lot. It feels very different than it did last season.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Speaking about weird relationship dynamics, what is going on? Okay, you're more, Sarah, you're more up on teen drama than I am. Could you explain to me what's happening with Jennifer and Brandon? Because I just don't get it.
Honestly, here's what I think is happening. I think that Jennifer has to get close to another boy, so the Khalil reveal will be even more painful and fraught. Honestly, I think that's what it is. I think she has to be like maybe thinking about a relationship with him, and then bam, your dead ex-boyfriend is like back and murdering people, including his mother, and now maybe your dad. The drama. That's I honestly, I think I'm into it. Like, Jennifer and Khalil can't run into each other again until she has moved closer to another boy, and that's the maximum pain threshold. And I'm wondering if that's what the show is doing. Well, it's not quite what you were asking, but that's what I think.
Because this episode, Jennifer seemed like as abusive to Brandon as Anissa was to Grace last season. Like, she's breaking into his house, she's forcing him to use his powers. Like, and then she's stringing him along with the whole thing about Dr. Jace. None of this feels right. Absolutely none of this.
Yeah, Brandon seems like a nice kid. I wish people would be a little gentle with him. I'm worried about him.
Yeah. yeah. And the fact that Jennifer trusts Major Gray, like, this is, someone needs to take her aside and set her straight. Like, this is
Everybody's too busy with their own stuff, man.
All right. Um,
But speaking of Khalil, he still has his memories. He's still in there.
Yeah, but I think Gamby had a point. You probably should have just killed him.
God, he's so practical.
Yes, he has his memories, but he's going to kill us all. Like, this is, and he's completely ignoring them. So I do not think this is going to go well for Lynn. If she tries messing around with that.
I don't think any of the stuff is going to go well for Lynn.
Yeah. So yeah, we got what, 2 episodes left before the mid-season?
Well, I guess so. We have crossover episode, Black Lightning crossover episode. Not next week, but the week after. Is that how it's going?
I believe that's how it's looking right now. Yeah,
that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't not believe you. That's just weird. So yeah, if that is the case, then there are 2 for the mid-season. So we will see.
Yeah. So yeah. I'm more interested to see what the fallout is going to be after all of this is done with. I'm actually more looking forward to the second half of this season. But yeah. All right. Anything more that?
Nope.
No. Okay. All right. And all right. So moving on to our third episode this week, The Flash, season 6, episode 7, The Last Temptation of Barry Allen, part 1. After using his blood to save Ralph from a bloodwork attack, Barry found himself trapped in a nightmare trying to stave off the bloodwork virus. Iris tried to avoid writing Barry's obituary by helping Allegra track down the mystery man photographed with her cousin. Last minute reveal, the fully infected Barry knelt before bloodwork.
Okay. There were a lot of things to be horrified about in this episode. I think Bloodwork is one of the scarier Flash villains I've ever seen. But I swear to God, if Iris's Flash disappearing story actually goddamn starts with "My name is Iris West," I'm gonna lose my mind. Bitch, your byline is right there. Also, that's not journalism. Oh my God. Okay, we can talk about the rest of the show now, but no.
Well, what's funny, we talk about all the potential spin-offs that can come out of Arrow, but I'm really seeing, like, if Flash ends this season and we spin off to Iris West leading the Central City Citizen, I was seeing potential in this episode.
I will rage quit this podcast. Or I will be a conscientious objector every time we get to that show.
You know, I mean,
you know who else I don't care about? Allegra.
No, Allegra, Camilla. I thought they were having good chemistry this week.
Allegra's not bad. She just, I don't know. There's a lot of other stuff going on. I just kind of feel like we need to focus elsewhere. Like,
you mean the one who kept getting incredibly upset finding out the massive secret that she's really not supposed, that nobody's supposed to know about?
Why would she think Iris would tell her that her husband is the Flash? What?
Yeah, no. I mean, she's a reporter. She's just doing her job. So yeah, who doesn't really want to care about finding her cousin, because of all that. That whole side story where they found the courier business that the mystery man worked for. I thought that was interesting, and it ended up seeming to leave nowhere. But I don't think that's the last we've heard of Maelstrom Couriers. I feel like those guys are going to come up again sometime later
I
this season.
love their logo.
So yeah. All right.
I mean, this is a very small part of the episode. I just had to get that out there.
Yeah. I will say the fight, the showdown between Ralph and Bloodwork, I thought that was really cool. The effects were good. I thought you definitely felt the tension. All the character stuff was there, and I thought Ralph fought valiantly, and I was really, really upset when he lost that fight.
Yes. Yeah, he did. I mean, it's very cool to see how far she's come, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or how far he's come. Ralph's a dude. But yeah, when you think about a lot of the getting him ready to be a hero in the past couple seasons, it was fun. I still think his powers are so goofy, and yet, they work. But seriously, Bloodwork is horrifying. Does he look like that in the comics? Is that...
I mean, it's really just like a mass, Yeah, it's. I mean, it's more red. It's more like actual blood. But yeah, I thought that was creepy. Killer Frost. Maybe we should let the person with the medical degree handle all of the medical issues. You're a little surprised it took her a whole episode to figure out that, maybe Caitlin's better suited to this work than she is.
I hate to criticize because I'm enjoying the Killer Frost of it all, but I wish they did a little bit more half and half with these episodes. It doesn't have to be feast or famine in one direction or the other, right?
Well, I think it's the kind of thing where, like, it's been Caitlin for so long and they wanted to stretch those legs and give Killer Frost a little bit of a life. But I think this episode was good because she got to acknowledge her limitations a bit.
But yes, let the person with a medical degree take the driver's seat. Thank you.
And I mean, the real heart of this story, Barry in his own head, realizing that the Speed Force and Bloodwork were battling for him. Yeah.
Grant Gustin did some acting this week.
Yeah, and like the Speed Force, who's in the guise of his mom, is a really bad salesman. Just gonna say, just be upfront. This guy's lying. In the fact that she admitted, like, oh yeah, no, he could save you and totally do all of these things. Don't lead with that. Don't lead with that. How about lead the fact that you will not be in control of your body? He will just be using you as a vessel. I think that would have been the more appropriate way to start.
Persuasive. I did like the literal tug of war with light on one side and dark on the other. It was subtle. It was real subtle.
Yeah, and how about that cliffhanger? That, like, now they're gonna have to.
Yeah, I will say I did like Iris being the one to be like, "Y'all, that's not Barry. Come on, how did you not notice? You've all worked with him for years."
Yeah. The best. Yeah. Scotty used to do that with Captain Kirk on Star Trek. That was always the best. That he's not the captain. But yeah, and next week we're gonna see the team take on the Flash, who's now all blood worked up.
The black teeth and the dark eyes and that whole dinner scene, just some gross effects this week. I was really into it.
Yeah. I'm trying to go through. Is there anything that we haven't really covered here, or
would you like me to yell about Iris's journalism some more?
How about Nash for not being able to keep a secret?
He can do no wrong. Whatever Nash wants to do is fine by me.
Mm-hmm. But he did get through that. He did get through that wall. We're finally going to see what's on the other side of it. I'm guessing that's another thing that's going to be next episode. Yeah. I mean, this is the first part of a two-parter, but I think it really did stand on its own.
Yeah, absolutely. It was for as dream sequency as it was, and that's not always my jam. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. All right. No news flash, right?
Well, just a tiny bit that Jessica Camacho, who plays Gypsy, is also playing Pirate Jenny on Watchmen. And she did an interview recently where she talked about how she 150% would come back to The Flash to play Gypsy if they asked. So hopefully whatever happens with the crisis, we get our Gypsy back.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I just thought that was kind of interesting.
I mean, Cisco has someone else now, but
Yeah, I know. But I just like the thought that she's out there in the world still breaching and running things,
All right. All right. Moving on to Arrow. Season 8, Episode 6, Reset. Oliver and Laurel were trapped in a time loop trying to prevent the assassination of Quentin Lance. Last minute reveal, Oliver and company found themselves facing their final mission on the shores of Lian-Yu.
That was so short. I didn't look at that before you read it. Yeah. Ed, I assure you the cards are sufficiently randomized. That actually doesn't track because Oliver knows he's in a time loop, and I think I like my time loop episodes better when the characters have to figure it out. Like they don't have memories from last time and they have to give themselves hints.
Yeah. And it's also like there was one storyline through the whole thing, which is fine. But
there's just been so many good time loop episodes, even within the Arrowverse. I didn't enjoy this one the way I wanted to. I really wanted to love this. I love a time loop episode, but this one just, I don't know. I don't know.
We got to see Quentin again.
We got to see Quentin again. Like that gets all the exclamation marks in my notes. That was awesome. He's looking great. Good for you, Paul Blackstone. Good to see you.
Yeah. And I thought that was great to see him. Too bad they couldn't stop him from dying. Over and over and over and over and over again. So evidently Laurel and Oliver were meant to learn about this whole acceptance thing.
Shout out to my colleague Chancellor Agard at EW who recaps Arrow and titled this like Oliver reaches the final stage of grief. Yep, we've gotten to acceptance. That is what we did. I also want to know where he is that it's so bright at 6:30 at night. Because I'm living in a world right now where like at 5 it's pitch black. What? I wanted to go to there. Oh, it's 6:30 and the sun's up fully? Oh.
Yeah, they must have filmed this in the summer.
I think so. I appreciated Laurel being a pop culture machine. She like dropped Dr. Phil and Edge of Tomorrow, and they are writing her better this season. I still would rather have Felicity, but she was good. I guess she needed to say goodbye to her dad. I don't know. I kind of lost track of Laurel's character and motivations and backstory and whatever. She's just here.
Yeah. Except there's one thing you remember, which is that he is not her father.
But the Monitor rewarded her anyway with that final goodbye. Oh, poor Quentin. As always, deserved better. Like maybe Sara. Sara Lance is still around. She is his daughter. I don't know.
Yeah.
I also super loved that at the end when Oliver says goodbye to his kids, it's the one without any Queen DNA who was like, oh, guys, he's saying goodbye to us. Like, this is Oliver's actual kids are like, what is this mean, Papa? But the non-genetic Queen was like, guys, he's going off to die. Come on.
Yeah.
No, I as always, I love those kids. they have really course corrected from my frustrations of last season with the future flash forwards, and I really like the Mia William dynamic, and it was fun, even though they didn't do as much. So yeah, Leon, you this coming week.
Yeah. I still want to know a little bit more about Lila and why she's trusting the Monitor. Like, what is her role in all this, and how long have they been working together?
I would like to know that. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe they'll tell us. I don't know. But yeah, this episode I was a little frustrated because we don't have that much real estate in this final season, and the loop wasn't, maybe, I don't know. I get that it moved us to an interesting place, but when I hold it up next to like a Here We Go Again from Legends of Tomorrow, that one was such a great time loop. It did so much for character development there. I don't know, I was a little let down. I hate to say it because this season has been so strong, but we're ever marching onward.
Yeah, and also it shows Quentin would have been a much better mayor than Oliver.
Oh yeah, I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I just had a flashback to the gun episode when Oliver was the mayor. Oh, they tried some things. Some things in that season.
Yeah, they did.
Oh.
Yeah, they did.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, not so much. So this was a character building episode, and I think they kind of did that. And yeah, now we're gearing up for the final battle.
Yeah.
It's weird, like we don't have that much to say about this episode, but it really was just a straightforward, all right, here's a time loop.
Figure it out.
And figure it out. And yeah, of course, because it's Oliver, because it's stubborn Oliver, it took him a whole 45 minutes to figure it out. All right. There was news for Arrow this week, right?
Just a little bit. A couple weeks ago, we told you that the last 2 words of the finale are going to be "to you." We've expanded that to the last 4 words. It is "tell it to you."
Ooh.
So a lot of speculation there about what that could be. In my mind, it is Oliver, I don't know, joining Felicity in some sort of afterlife, explaining to her what he's been through, talking to baby Mia. I want to tell it to you. I don't know. I hope it's happy domestic family related.
Maybe.
I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, I feel so weird because like we saw like Felicity meets him at the end in like 2040. When all of this is done. And I'm it's also like, how much are they going to hold to that timeline? Is the crisis just going to make everything go wonky?
I don't know. I cannot wait to find out. I am really truly excited by the crossover potential coming up. So yeah.
All right, 1 episode left, Sarah. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Titans Season 2 finale. Nightwing. Dick Grayson, in his new guise as Nightwing, took on Deathstroke in a final battle. Mercy Graves engineered Gar to attack a carnival so Connor could demonstrate his powers to potential buyers. Rachel began to stretch the limits of her powers. Last-minute reveal, Blackfire took possession of a mom in a grocery store parking lot, beat up a stranger, and walked off, leaving the kids in the van.
Well, this was a finale.
Sarah, we got Nightwing. We finally got Nightwing, and we saw him in an all-out brawl with Deathstroke. I
did appreciate that Nightwing costume reveal may as well have actually just said, like, "Are you not entertained?" Like, here I am.
Like, honestly, if that's all we gotten for this episode, it would have been worth it. And it delivered so much more. We've had like a couple of major storylines. And, I liked how the show says, okay, we're going to do everything one by one. We're not going to try to interweave them and figure out a way to combine them, because they were 2 very separate storylines. So we're just going to deal with all of one at the front then all of one at another, and then we're gonna have a big thing at the end for the fallout to set up next season.
Did you not feel... Okay, full disclosure, I did not enjoy this finale that much at all. And maybe it's because I was not waiting for the night. I didn't have any expectation for the Nightwing reveal. I enjoyed it, but I didn't need it in the bottom of my soul. Didn't Deathstroke wasn't that kind of anticlimactic to just be like, sword?
I mean, I think, well, there was a little bit of unresolved things. I thought that battle, I mean, putting that fight, there wasn't really much more I could have asked for the storyline. And the fact that they were able to draw out Jericho, and I guess now he's sharing a body with Rose, which is kind of weird, and they could have we could have developed that a little bit more to figure out, okay, how exactly is this going to work? And also the fact that Rose killed her dad was shocking.
Here's one part of my problem with this. Why did you have a vehicle full of literal lady superheroes who just stayed in the car? Because Dick was like, stay in the car! But one of them was shot in the arm. That's rough. That would be shocking. But there's still 3 literal superheroes who didn't get out to help. Like, I understand you needed to have the Nightwing thing and you needed to have I get it. But it made them look completely useless to just be like, we'll just be in the car. I mean, it's like my jam is on the radio, so we're just gonna finish this while you finish that. Like, what? And that's the first of my complaints about women in this episode. Sorry, you're gonna get the business here, Ed. Sorry.
Okay.
But we can move on to the next thing.
Well, I mean, I thought, seeing Donna and what about the showdown that you had with Connor in the amusement park? That was 3 ladies on one guy.
Yeah, who were unsure what to do and were just like, I don't know, you do it. I don't know, you do it. Oh, thank God, Dick is here to do it. I mean, it was a little... Donna was pretty badass approaching Connor, and I get that, Corey doesn't have her powers, and I'm not saying they should have taken him down all by themselves, but it really did feel like, oh, Dick is here to handle Deathstroke, thank God. Oh, Dick is here to handle Connor, thank God. All right, I get it. The episode was called Nightwing. I do not mean to crap all over Nightwing. I know you were excited. I'm excited for you. I was excited that Bowerfett tweeted me a story about Dick Grayson's butt. That was great. I enjoyed all of that. But I just felt like the women kind of got sidelined as super sidekicks in the interest of telling Nightwing's story. And that's fine. Nightwing it was literally called Nightwing. It's fine. I don't know.
I mean,
sorry. And we're still working up to the whole Donna thing, which I have thoughts about too.
Yeah. I mean, before we do that, I think Rachel and Gar, who I think were 2 of the more sideline characters, because so much of this season had to do with, all the backstory with the veterans, where season 1 was really about Rachel, and Gar's really gotten short shrift, but you did have that one moment where she's able to tame him and, break the control that Cadmus had over Gar.
Which, didn't Cadmus train him to react to her face and voice? He seems like he should have struggled a little more with that.
Well, but they didn't understand that she had demonic powers.
All right, fair.
And I thought, and it's really brave, because like you said, she said, I'm going to touch you, and that power was able to break through and I guess kind of like break that spell.
I did like his big tiger paws sort of retracting when she reached for him. And I liked it because there's a cat living in my house who is very scared of me. Not Jason, just me. And that is our exact dynamic. Hey, buddy, I'm going to pet you. No? Okay. It's cool. And what I would suggest to Raven is I have gotten through to that cat by putting whipped cream on my finger. And that tends to work when he licks it off. So maybe, if Gar regresses, whipped cream on her finger. Hey, buddy. No? I just was excited to have the big tiger. I was hurt, though, to see Connor punch the tiger. That was hard. Hard.
Yeah. Connor was a real jerk.
As always, though, I am so amazed by what a good casting job they did with him, because he can go from badass to vulnerable like that. That look on his face when he finally breaks out of the mind control and just walks toward the Cadmus van. Oh, he's mad.
Yeah, and
good stuff.
Rachel was the one who really saved the day there, creating that connection that allowed Dick to step in and speak to Connor. And I thought that was really, I thought that was beautifully done. The interaction with them in Connor's mind, where he sees him in the darkness, and like, it's all metaphor, and it's very surface, but still just the idea of him literally punching through a black wall to let the sunlight in.
And I will never get tired of a Kryptonian reveling in Earth's yellow sun. I will never get tired of that. Like, yes.
Yeah. And them in the cornfield, and they're just like those soft tones of that Superboy theme, just like, that choked me up. I thought that was incredible.
Agreed. I did like that part. And I liked that at that point the Titans were working as a team, that, you had the lasso and Raven's powers. And I like that they all were able to exercise that together. That's what I wanted. I just wanted Titans as a team.
Yes. Yeah. And we got all of that, and Cadmus was defeated. And everything looked like, it was going to be hunky-dory. And
although I still think we should have had Eve Watson come back. I still think Eve is...
that's really the one character whose absence of this is really, really unexplainable. Like, I don't understand why she has not been at Connor's side this entire time. The only explanation I can have is they did not want to pay that actress for more than 3 episodes. Like, it's really unforgivable here. Like, I don't understand where else she would go. I feel like she just completely disappeared off the map. That said, the next thing, which I think is the thing that both you and I are upset about, is that after everything's hunky-dory and we're all good, one of the carnival rides falls, and Donna is able to save a lot of people, but ends up getting electrocuted. And dies.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb because, number one, you've got Superman right there. Like, he's half Superman, and he's just standing there. Raven is there, just standing there. What's Hank doing these days? Have Hank sacrifice himself. Like,
Hank wouldn't be able to lift that thing.
Well, then he could have at least blocked the fall with his body. Like, what's Hank doing?
I mean, to be honest,
I don't understand why it was only Donna. I just don't you have a team of superheroes. Why did they watch it fall for so long? Also, it was so telegraphed. Oh, let me get your doll. Like, everybody knew something was going to happen. It was just, and if I thought she was really dead, I would be furious. As it is, I think she's pretty clearly coming back, because they sent Raven with her and they didn't actually say dead. They talked about whatever. So why?
I mean, what if I told you this kind of was a storyline in the comics? Where Donna Troy has gone through resurrections before. Does that make you feel a little better?
A little, but I wish they had done it in a less stupid way. I guess, where everybody else just stood around like, oh, that thing's a fallen. Mm-hmm. Oh, shucks.
Yeah.
It was just ham-handed. Also, if they're going to try to bring her back, why are you shipping her in a coffin? I don't know.
I don't think anyone, I think she's dead. I think she's dead right now. And they were delivering the body to the Amazons because, that's her people. I think Rachel thinks that she might be able to do something, and that's why she's tagging along with to Themyscira.
Just the fact that they mentioned it to me says that's what they're going to do.
But I don't think it's going to be an easy fix. I mean, the fact that next season we're going to see Rachel in Themyscira.
Okay, that I'm into.
And maybe they can help her develop her powers a little bit more, and that's how we get Donna back. And I'm sure there's going to be, the fact that, her dad's a demon. So there might be some evil stuff at work there, and does Donna really want to be brought back from the dead? There's definitely some cool storylines that you could do with that.
I guess.
And I think the real revelation is at the end. Actually, the whole Elko Diner thing makes a lot more sense to me now. It's like when Corey thanked Bruce for going there and inspiring them, and Bruce was like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I mean, yeah, that was the only solution that was ever going to make sense.
Well, also just because that whole thing felt so hokey, and the fact that no, it was totally in Rachel's head. It was totally a contrivance of Rachel that she put into everyone else's head. That actually explains how hokey and sappy that whole thing was. And that actually, I think that was a cool layer to throw in there.
Bruce Ex Machina, am I right?
Yeah.
Thank you for politely laughing. I was really proud of that.
Yeah. Did you enjoy his little talk with Dick?
I did.
Yeah.
I also enjoyed Dick being like, here's a toast to how our families mess us up. And Bruce being like, wow. Wow, Dick. I am right here at that dinner.
Yeah. And Hank and Dawn deciding, we shouldn't be in a relationship, but we should still work together as superheroes. That seems like a terrible idea to me.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work out very well. I think it's, you got to be all or nothing, right?
Yeah. Lots of lingering questions here. Also, you saw Jason show up briefly to watch Donna's plane go off, and then he motorcycled
away.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I'm just feeling a lot of feelings, okay?
Just like, oh yeah, we've got to remind you this character's out there and give him a little bit of a setup. How come he gets another episode and they can't bring in Eve Watson? Jeez.
For real.
And that big reveal. I guess next season, we're gonna see Blackfire versus Starfire.
So does that mean outer space stuff?
Potentially, yeah, or at least aliens on Earth.
All right, I'm into it.
Yeah,
I do think this was a better finale than the season 1 finale.
Yes, far better, far better. Yeah. All right. Any last thoughts for Titans? Any news?
I enjoyed the season overall very much. I thought the Superboy edition was great. It kind of found a better tone, maybe. I'm still frustrated by some of the dumbness in the finale, but I am looking forward to it coming back for season 3.
Cool.
Whenever that is.
All right. Now let's get to some news for other shows.
Okay. Well, this news feels like it's directly done for you personally, but with the CW crossover, the Arrowverse crossover coming up, Kevin Smith is going to host after shows on the CW following the Sunday and Tuesday crossover episodes.
Hey!
So Kevin Smith is coming to the CW for an hour of talk.
That's great. The Godfather of fandom. Yeah, I think this is great. I love Kevin Smith. I think this is perfect. I mean, this is the guy who's like the ultimate cheerleader. Just go watch the video he shot of himself bursting into tears, bawling, watching the season 1 finale of Flash. I think
he's directed episodes too, so I mean, he's definitely a supporter. He's involved. He's more than an interested observer.
Yeah. I mean, he's directed episodes of Flash and Supergirl. This is exciting. This is great.
Yeah, I was surprised. I mean, for a second, I was like, "Where are they gonna? Is it gonna stream somewhere?" I was like, "Wait, it's gonna be on the CW." All right, cool. And they just announced those too. I don't know if they'll do the same for the January episodes. I would imagine so, but I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
So yeah. Moving on to Supergirl. Melissa Benoist made an announcement on Instagram that she had been she's a survivor of domestic abuse. And it was, I don't know, it is hard to watch. It is hard to grapple with, but I think it does some important things for destigmatizing what it's like to be involved in that kind of relationship, be party to that kind of violence. And I think her speaking out does a lot, I hope, for people asking for help or being more aware, or, you know, all the things that come from going public with an experience like that. And that, you know, if it happens to Supergirl, and she's not Supergirl in real life, I know that, but, you know, it's a powerful statement that she made. I'm sure it took a lot of courage. And then her husband, Chris Wood, posted on Twitter like the day after that he was just going to spend the day hugging and kissing his wife. And it was nice too. So I'm glad she is out. I'm glad she has support. She seems to be in a very happy marriage. All the best things for Melissa Benoist.
Yes. Yeah. It's.
I mean, there's not much to riff on.
Not
there.
much to
It's just
say.
like,
I would
good.
encourage people to watch that video. And yeah, you know, thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, she's such a sunny, upbeat person, from what I can tell. That you know, it shows you that you just public face is a public face, and you don't know what's happening behind the scenes. And you know, I'm happy for her that she seems to have carved out joy for herself. So yeah. Okay, moving on to Superman and Lois.
Superman and Lois.
We have some news for that potential spinoff. They are casting for two teenage boys for that spinoff that's going to air on the CW. They're looking for a 14-year-old Caucasian boy, clean cut, modest, kind-hearted, aw shucks attitude, well on his way to becoming a physical specimen, which is the creepiest way I've ever heard of to describe a 14-year-old. And then Ethan, also 14-year-old Caucasian, but looking for a young Leo DiCaprio with an inherent darkness to him, wildly intelligent, mercurial temperament, social anxiety. So, and I'm confused. I thought there was just one Superman offspring.
Well, it might not be a Superman offspring. It may be that Ethan is Damian Wayne, the current Robin, who's Bruce Wayne's son. It's the offspring of Bruce Wayne and Talia al Ghul. So that's the dark side that they're talking about. And it looks like they're setting up the Super Sons. Which wow. But if anyone's read that run by Peter J. Tomasi running through Superman and then later Super Sons, we're going to be getting Jonathan Kent and Damian Wayne. This is going to be a very different show than I thought it was. Yeah.
Is it good or bad? I mean, are you more or less excited?
This
is different.
This is exciting. Yeah, it's definitely different. I'm very confused as to the timeline because like Lois was pregnant the last time we saw her. So yeah. What is this show going to be?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting 14-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say that. They're not gonna age up Hoagland and Tulloch, are they?
I don't know.
Surely not.
I don't know. Yeah.
Leave their beautiful faces alone. How dare you?
All right.
But yeah, I thought it was really interesting. So, all right. Mm-hmm. Last bit of news for the week, because it was a slow news week because, you know, Thanksgiving. The Sandman is going to be set in modern times. So rather than in the 80s, we are going to see, you know, the 2019 version of a storyline that by all accounts is going to cling really closely to the graphic novels. Just modernized, better fashion.
Wow, and that's cool. That's cool. There's nothing I could think of in those books that really tie them to the 80s or the 90s. I mean, they were written there, so there's definitely some some cultural stuff in there, but nothing that, like, if you change that and made it 2019 would change it drastically. So I
thought that was cool.
Yeah. And so much of that stuff takes place, in otherworldly realms. So not as much of it takes place in modern Earth. So I think that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, that is the news of the week.
All right, which means now it's time for our winners of the week. All right, Sarah, I got a theme. Do you have a theme? Do you want to go first? Should I go first?
I do. I'm wondering if we have the same theme.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll go first with my theme, which is scrambled brains.
Not my theme. Go on.
No. So Angela on Watchmen took the nostalgia, and yeah. So basically, she's her brain's turning to scrambled eggs. She's reliving her grandpa's past. On Black Lightning, Khalil's brain has been scrambled to turn him into a killing machine. Flash Barry's going through this mind trippy dream, trying to, with the Speed Force and blood work, fighting for his body. On Arrow, Ollie and Laurel are going through that time loop, which is, gotta be hard on the neurological on the on the nervous system. And Titans, Jericho living inside his daddy's brain. And then later
and now
into
his
Rose's
sister's brain.
yes. Yeah. So yeah, scrambled brains all around. Hope you get bacon with that.
Well, I feel like I want to talk about the same things, but from a different angle. And that is just that we had shows that challenged linear reality this week with the Arrow time loop, with that, the whole Barry journey. We find out retroactively in Titans that diner scene did not really happen. And just all of Watchmen, all of it. So yeah, we had shows that were not straightforward. We start on this day, we end on this day, and we're going straight through as a straight line. No, not this week on DC TV. Not this week.
All right, Sarah, we did a show.
I think we came in good time too. Good for us.
Yeah.
Well, it helps that we were missing 2 shows. So.
All right. But yeah. So Titans is gone. But Supergirl and Batwoman come back next week, and it looks like next week is for the most part we're going to get a bunch of mid-season finales, at least for the 3 shows that are going to be in Crisis the following week. Man, we're coming into the home stretch. We are.
This first half of the season has been fast.
Yes, but really enjoyable. I can't wait for more. Thanks, everyone. That's the DC TV report for this week. You can find us on Twitter. I'm at Laletti O'Hare.
And I'm at Sara Netzley, SaraNetzley.
And follow the show on Twitter at DCTV Report. Send along your emails to dctv@wickedtheory.com. Also be sure to subscribe to our show on your podcast app of choice and rate and review us. That helps more people find us. Check out our sister show, The Wicked Theory Podcast. This has been a Wicked Theory Studios production. Executive producer, Bill Sweeney. Visit us at wickedtheory.com. Shazam, everybody.
Shazam.
Shazam.